Are you at a crossroads in your life? Are you? Are you wondering what's next and hoping it'll be a step in the right direction? I don't know. Welcome to Your Next Bold Move. Our show is all about helping you take your next step, whether it's career or relationships or life in general. Second acts do exist. Second chances do exist. And so stay tuned and let's explore together what's next for you. Hi, and welcome to Your Next Bold Move. Today's show is all about money. Our guest today, Jayn Krasco Stillson, is a financial coach who works primarily with women who want to learn skills to manage their money better. So welcome, Jayn. I'm so excited that you're here.
Thank you.
Why don't we start off by having you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I used to be a financial advisor. Most financial advisors, really their focus is investments. And what I found was that the money game is so much more. One person that I worked with didn't feel comfortable with more than $20 in her pocket. She felt like she was irresponsible. And so the first thing I did was send her to the ATM and have her walk around with $100 in her pocket.
Seriously?
It was huge for her.
Wow.
But she learned that she actually really was very responsible with her money.
What else do you help people with?
The other side of my business is working with the average woman who is finally ready to learn about money and change the way that she's thinking about money or behaving with her money.
What are some of the issues that women have around money?
People have a lot of fear, women in particular.
Have fear around money?
Yes.
What kind of fear?
Men tend to be more confident that they'll make enough money and they'll always have enough money. Women, not so much. I had a client who got divorced from a very wealthy gentleman. She had maybe $150,000 a year in child support and alimony for 10 years. And she was terrified of 10 years from now, what's going to happen when I don't have this money. And we got her back in school, found out what she was interested in. She enrolled in school, found a new career, and even though she didn't need the money today, she was starting to work towards something that would replace that income 10 years from now.
Is there other things that women find?
We all want to have enough money. We want to manage it well, and we want to enjoy it. Some people can't do that.
Well, some people think if they spend it, then they won't have it, and what if they run out?
If you're not feeling in control of your money, then how do you know that you have more than $20 to spend?
Well, that's right.
When we talk about bold moves and we talk about change, that's a great time to sit down and look at what the situation is so that you can tie it to a life goal. You'd be more willing to give up that daily Starbucks if you knew
something was stronger calling me. Right.
That $5 a day was going to get you on that trip that you've been wanting to do your whole life.
I'm curious why you love working with women.
Women feel safe with other women.
I think that's true.
And unfortunately, the financial field is really dominated by men. So I think that it's easier for women to relate to other women.
My focus is really helping people who are at a crossroads in their life.
Yes.
Trying to figure out what's next. And people go through the question of, what do I really want to do? Is this enough for me? And if I'm asking that question, I might not be that happy, because why else would I be asking it? I think money is one of those things that holds people back. They think, I get paid to do what I'm good at, and the thought of shaking that up is just too frightening. But to put your house in order makes you relax a little, so you have a little more freedom to be able to go out and explore.
There's a lot of comfort in having somebody reassure you that you're doing things right.
I have a financial advisor, and he said to me, every year you have to put away this amount of money. And it's a check for me. And if I do it, I feel good.
Yeah.
And if I don't, I got to do better.
It's such an interesting process that what you just said.
Really?
Because, what is that number?
Well, in my case, we sat down and did an exercise of how much money I think I want at a certain age.
Right.
And then we backed into it.
Right. But there are so many assumptions in that calculation.
Go for it. Tell me.
Well, really what your financial advisor did was put some numbers into a computer, and the computer did these great calculations, and it came up with this number that you have to put into your account every year.
Right.
But what's interesting is what you said about what happens if you don't do it.
I'm getting coaching. Go for it.
No, I mean, really, what happened? So what?
So what in my case is I have to do this for X number of years.
Right.
So if I don't do it, then I just add another year.
Yes, but in that calculation was a rate of return. So
which could go up higher or lower.
You could do exactly what you agreed to do, and you could meet your goal every year and still not have that.
Well, that's true.
There's so many variables.
That's true. Well,
so we do the best that we can.
That's right.
There's a lot of exercises that shine a light on what's really going on, and if you're not ready to face it,
let's do one.
Okay.
You're prepared, right?
I am. The exercise in the book actually just uses a dollar bill.
Okay.
And so
you're giving me $1?
In the class, we all take out a dollar bill, and
okay.
we look at all of the things that you can do with that dollar bill.
Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah.
I could go to the penny candy store. I could give it away. I could put it in the bank.
Yes.
Ooh. You've just given me $100. You walk around with this in your pocket?
They're both just pieces of paper.
That's true.
Aren't they?
Right, but you can do more with this one.
Doesn't that one feel different?
I don't see these on a daily basis.
When you think about having money and you think about the things that you want to do in your life, it's really a much bigger number.
That's
it's much more money.
That's the point.
And yet that has so much power. The $100 bill has so much power.
I think a lot of the times we don't know what our relationship is with money because, I don't know, we just live it day to day and it's not conscious. So,
right.
Like the example you gave of the $20 in her pocket,
right.
She probably doesn't think about that anymore. It probably was just a habit that
right.
she did.
What was most important in that situation was how that thought that she had that she wasn't responsible with money, how much it was tearing at her self-esteem.
Yeah.
It was so great. The day she came back after she had spent a week with $100 in her pocket and she had behaved responsibly and she was being told that she was a responsible adult. That's great. It was really sweet.
That's great. All right, so the second item on your list about shifting your relationship is to examine the facts about your personal business.
In order to go anywhere, you have to know where you're at. You have to look at it realistically.
Right.
I had one client one time who was telling me that she had a lot of debt. I asked her how much. I think she told me $30,000 or $40,000. So her job was to go home, write down every credit card what the balances were.
Yeah, that's good.
It was $80,000.
Oh, she had no idea.
She had no idea.
Wow.
And not only that, we kept coaching. Nobody ever told her that that wasn't okay. A year later, she had stopped coaching with me, and a year later, she sent me a note and telling me about how much she had paid it down and how good she felt about herself because she was paying that debt off.
Do you want to speak to this slide?
It's so important to look at the conversations that you have about money, what you think about, challenge whether they're true or not. What was true for our parents 40 or 50 years ago doesn't necessarily work for us.
Right.
Just confronting the problems, the concerns. And you don't want to wait until you're in trouble with money to start behaving responsibly with money.
So we were talking earlier as we were getting ready for the show with Bree, our makeup girl.
Yes, Bree was my classic client when I was a financial advisor. She's in a profession that doesn't have any retirement savings in place. When you work for a big company and there's a 401k and all you have to do is have the money taken out of your paycheck, it's easy. I think that Bree's biggest problem was that she just didn't have the resource easily available to her.
So a simple step for someone who's getting started was probably perfect what you told her, to start with putting $25 away.
A month.
A month, sorry,
yes.
a month.
Yes.
Right? And that would get started towards accumulating in savings.
You will have more money
right,
if you put a little bit of money over a long period of time than if you wait until you think you have the money and start trying to catch up.
That's great. Thanks for joining us today. In addition to the resources and ideas that Jayn has shared with us, go online to our two websites, visionquestconsulting.com and themagicparties.com. Big thank you again to Jayn Krasco Stillson for being here today, and thanks to all of you, our listeners. You are meant to go forth in the world to use your gifts and talents.